So Anthony Joshua is apparently ready to accept Tyson Fury's ultimatum for a heavyweight fight. Obviously, Tyson Fury. Why on earth is Tyson Fury deciding to fight Anthony Joshua now? What made Tyson Fury sit down and think, you know what? Let me fight AJ now. I could have fought him maybe last year. I knew I couldn't fight him because of the wild arbitration, but I still tried to make it look as if I'm going to fight AJ anyway. Could have fight AJ. He could have gone the Anthony Joshua route when he first came back, but now he's seen Usyk beat Anthony Joshua the first time. Now he's seen Usyk beat Anthony Joshua the second time. Now he's trying to give Anthony Joshua a lifeline and say, you know what, AJ, here's your WBC shot. Come and fight me. Why is Tyson Fury doing this now? You have to only go and ask Tyson Fury. Make sure you guys like the video. Like the video, share the video, drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys think about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Is this fight actually going to happen? Tyson Fury is talking about December 3rd. I believe he's also talking about November 26th as well. I know Anthony Joshua was talking about he wanted to come back and fight in November anyway. So this might be just the right time. But the question might be okay for Anthony Joshua in terms of the time frame. He's not Fury ain't saying October, because if he said October, then it's totally unrealistic. But November 26th, like I said, HA did say he wants to fight in November before the end of the year again, or December 3rd. So I don't think the date will be the problem. What would obviously be the problem is negotiating which network the fight will be on. Obviously, Anthony Joshua's now in a longer term deal with DAZN, and Tyson Fury is obviously with BT Sport. Is Anthony Joshua going to go fight on BT Sport and not DAZN? No. Is Fury going to go fight on DAZN? He's going to say it's the A side, so no. Are both platforms going to show the fight? Possibly, but if both platforms do show the fight, obviously DAZN is going to be based off their pricing model. It's going to be a bit cheaper to watch it on DAZN. So BT Sport is going to be undercut. So there's a lot of things to work out in terms of the financials in terms of the business aspect as well. I know in terms of the splits, Tyson Fury is saying he did offer Anthony Joshua a 60-40 split. It hasn't been denied by Eddie Hearn. So if that is the case, to me, it looks reasonable. And obviously, Anthony Joshua, getting 40% is still a good representation for his commercial value, and the fans he's able to draw in. It's not 80-20 or 70-30 like typical voluntaries. It's at 60-40. And obviously, Tyson Fury taking the 60 because, he's got the WBC and he's the champ. And so it makes sense. And obviously, in terms of Anthony Joshua and how beneficial taking this fight is for Anthony Joshua, is a tough one because Tyson Fury, like I said at the start of this video, why is Tyson Fury looking to fight Anthony Joshua now? No, this is the most vulnerable Anthony Joshua's looked in quite a bit. Anthony Joshua obviously is looking quite vulnerable. He hasn't fought. When was the last time he fought a top opponent and he won by knockout, or he stopped them or beat them on the cards? Like, he's fought Usyk now. He fought Pulev, beat Pulev obviously, but Pulev's out. Pulev's the same guy. Excuse me, he's the same guy that lost to Derek Chisora now. So at this point, Pulev has become a certified journeyman. So I don't really count that. And it's unfortunately Joshua's lost back-to-back fights against Alexander Usyk. Obviously, Usyk has moved up from cruiserweight division. So Fury's looking like raw. Like, AJ ain't got that confidence like that. I can go in there, Gypsy King style, and just beat this guy, and then try to solidify himself as the best in the UK. And so I can see why Tyson Fury is looking to fight Anthony Joshua. He's taken, some of the out of the Mayweather playbook, timing fights to perfection. Obviously, to give himself the maximum advantage, whether it's psychological advantage or physical advantage in the ring. Straight out of the Mayweather playbook, timing it in your own personal advantage, but not necessarily for the spectacle of the fans. So Tyson Fury, like I said, he's looking to fight Anthony Joshua where he sees Anthony Joshua looking the most weakest. In terms of Anthony Joshua taking the fight, it would be a quick opportunity for Anthony Joshua to get himself back into the mix, potentially back into a chance of undisputed himself. if you do watch the end of the Joshua Usyk fight, Joshua was saying that's like he was saying at the end of the fight, like, listen, I'm just like everybody else now. This is an opportunity for Joshua to not be like everybody else. If he goes in there somehow, he can put the shots together and get to Tyson Fury. You know, all of a sudden, Anthony Joshua can call himself is the He's not just the best. He's the most best in terms of British heavyweight boxing of the recent era. That undisputed in terms of the best of recent British era. You know, with this new crop of heavyweights we've currently got right now, he will say Tyson Fury, I've beaten him. I've beaten Dillian White. You know, maybe he can fight. Fight Joe Joyce and be like, you know what? I'm the best of the British right now. Case closed. No debate. It's me. That's it. Number one, the champ. That's why Anthony Joshua will officially, be able to call himself. And even if he doesn't call himself and he wants to still going to stay humble, his fans is going to say it for him. You not beat the Gypsy King. Tyson Fury is always saying is that if I get beat, I'll never call myself the Gypsy King again. So then he will never call himself the Gypsy King again. And obviously they'll have their rematch. And even if Fury was to win, he still beat Tyson Fury. And it'll be 1-1. So that is an opportunity, and also to still pick up the WBC as well, to add that to the collection, because obviously AJ hasn't got the WBC. He's got every other belt in his collection right now, but he hasn't got the WBC. So that would be a very good addition to the collection, as the WBC is definitely up there, arguably the most prestigious belt across weight divisions. So it will definitely be something that Anthony Joshua will be eyeing as well. And if he can somehow beat Tyson Fury in back-to-back fights, then obviously he can get his third crack at Alexander Usyk. And can he beat Alexander Usyk in a trilogy? Most people say not, but it's still heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. And he would have had a longer camp if he does keep Robert Garcia. I don't know if he will, but if he does, it would have been a camp longer with him to get used to him and things like that. Since obviously it's a baptism of fire going in there against Tyson Fury, another one after Usyk. But sometimes you have to take a gamble, take the risk, and sometimes it can pay off. But if it doesn't pay off, it's going to be tough to see where Anthony Joshua goes from there. Lose to Usyk, lose to Tyson Fury, back to lose. He won't even get a back-to-back. He'll just be Fury wins, he's gone. If he's unable to beat Tyson Fury, there's still other fights out there like Deontay Wilder. Going there to Deontay Wilder, then people now talking about that's wraps for Anthony Joshua. But man, should Anthony Joshua take this fight against Tyson Fury? Is he falling into the Mayweather settings trap that Tyson Fury trying to set for him, thinking that this is the most vulnerable looking AJ? Maybe AJ might be more up for this fight, considering it's Tyson Fury, considering it's an all British affair of a fight. Maybe he's going to be more up for this one. So it's going to be interesting, man, to see how it's all going to work, how this is all going to go down. Can Anthony Joshua come through and beat Tyson Fury, or will Tyson Fury just do what he normally does, outbox and potentially stop Anthony Joshua? I'm very sure he's probably Tyson Fury is a very strategic guy. He doesn't just take all comers, or he keeps saying, "Oh, I fight anybody." No. Tyson Fury don't fight anybody. If Tyson Fury fights anybody, obviously he beat Klitschko. He fought Deontay Wilder. He used Deontay Wilder as a route to come back to get the belts. Some people say, oh, but he fought Dillian White. Dillian White was a mandatory. Who has Tyson Fury out of the elite fighters gave voluntary shots to? Nobody. It's not voluntary shot. Deontay Wilder didn't have to fight Tyson Fury, So who is Tyson Fury giving voluntary shots to, to fight? There's fights out there. I still want to see Tyson Fury fight. Usyk, obviously, I'd like to see him fight Joseph Parker, but Joseph Parker keeps behaving like a fanboy. I need to see Tyson Fury fight Andy Ruiz. He's already fought Dillian White. It's like we said, we need to see him fight Anthony Joshua. I still like to see Tyson Fury even fight Joe Joyce. That's a good fight. Fight the Juggernaut. That's definitely another good fight out there. So there's a range of good fights out there that I would still like to see Tyson Fury in, because I'm not really on this boat of I fought Klitschko, I fought Deontay Wilder, I'm like the best of this era. No, bro. There's too many names out there. You got to fight, man. Styles make fights, man. We've seen Tyson Fury struggle against Steve Cunningham, smaller fighters. We saw him struggle, have problems with Otto Wallin. Let's see you fight elite small guys, Usyk, Parker, Andrew Ruiz. Let's see this, man. Because styles make fights, man. Before Anthony Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz, people say he's the best in the division, but styles make fights, and he fought Andrew Ruiz, and Andrew Ruiz beat him. Obviously, he came back in a rematch and won, but at least we saw that fight. Can't be strategically picking fights and telling people I'm the best in the division. Let's everybody fight. Same thing. Deontay Wilder fight everyone. AJ's obviously been fine. He's fought Takam, Povetkin, is Dylan White, Andy Ruiz, Klitschko. Like Anthony Joshua's fought like a range of styles, man. So Anthony Joshua go in there and knock out Tyson Fury. That is just crowned as the king of this era in terms of British heavyweight boxing. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, drop your comments. Let me see what you guys think about Anthony Joshua potentially taking on Tyson Fury. What do you guys think? Will Tyson Fury win this fight easily? Will it be a tough fight? Will Anthony Joshua be able to get the job done against Tyson Fury and solidify himself as the best of the heavyweights in the UK? Make sure you guys, again, like the video, share the video, and drop your comments.